Hello Star Wars The Old Republic players! Today I'm going to be discussing a major news that broke out yesterday. A bunch of things came up when IGN broke the news about changes coming to Star Wars The Old Republic development team. So I'm going to give you all the facts on all the official information we got from that, including the reaction from the game director of the game. Once I recap all the news that we know about that, then I'll discuss my personal opinion about all of this. The first thing that came up was IGN posting an article that says Star Wars The Old Republic will be going third party as Bioware focuses on Mass Effect and Dragon Age. This means that Star Wars The Old Republic will no longer be worked by Bioware, but it will still remain as part of EA, as publisher. The game will be moved to the development team called Broadsword Online. Now, keep in mind that this information is a scoop that IGN got a report on. This is not an official press release info from EA or Bioware. But EA did react to this news information later, as well as the game director of Bioware. But let's go step by step. In essence, what IGN first reports is that Star Wars The Old Republic is moving over to Broadsword Online and moving away from Bioware, so Bioware can keep focusing on developing Dragon Age and Mass Effect. As you all well know, those two games, especially Dragon Age Dreadwolf, have been in development for a long time. So it seems that EA wants Bioware to work stronger on those franchises because it's been a long time since their last new games. Now what's interesting about Broadsword is that it's a team that's led by Rob Denton, who previously worked on the Star Wars The Old Republic in the very early days when that game released. So of course everyone's speculating if this means a good thing or not about the game, because it's a previous developer of the game when the game first launched out. Now the other thing that IGN states is that currently in Star Wars The Old Republic there's 70 to 80 people that are working on the core development of the game. At least half of those are expected to move over to Broadsword. But those that remain on Bioware can look for other roles within Bioware or EA, or they will face layoffs. So that means that when the Old Republic moves to the Broadsword team, it will move over with about 40 to 50 team members of the original Old Republic team that's working on the game right now. So that means it's not going to have the full team that's working on the Old Republic move over to Broadsword. Now, after this news broke out from IGN approached EA for comments. EA says, almost 12 years after launch, Star Wars The Old Republic remains a success and continues to grow its dedicated and passionate community. We're so proud of the work the team has done, and the future of the game and the community continues to be very bright. We are evaluating how we give the game and the team the best opportunity to grow and evolve, which includes conversations with Broadsword, a boutique studio that specializes in delivering online community-driven experiences. Our goal is to do what is best for the game and its players. So basically EA confirms that these conversations are indeed happening and that they have indeed talked with Broadsword. However, they don't confirm that the contract has been finalized. However, from the sounds of it, it seems like it's going to happen. Now, the last thing before I jump into my opinion about all this is the game director Keith Koenig made a comment in the official forum. He says, "Hi all, no doubt you read the reports that Electronic Arts is evaluating opportunities to give the game and the team a new home, which includes conversations with Broadsword. Unfortunately, we can't answer any question you may have at this time. Game Update 7.3 June release will remain unchanged and patch notes will be released a day before per usual." Now, pausing this message for a moment, this is actually a surprise because we did not know that 7.3 was coming this month of June. We knew that it was coming very soon, sometime between June or July, but Keith basically confirmed to us that it's coming this month, very soon. Now, continuing with Keith's message, he says, all future content updates are also moving forward as planned, including 7.3.1 and 7.4. We're looking forward to the future of Star Wars The Old Republic and its continued growth. And that's it for the statement from Keith. So this means that whatever happens, at the end of the day, we're still getting the same content plan that we had with 7.3.1 and 7.4. what happens after 7.4, we don't know. That's going to be the big mystery. If by the time 7.4 comes out, we're gonna have brand new news of what's coming with the game forward. So those are the three main things that we got from this news: the IGN coverage, the EA response, and the Keith game director message. Let's talk about what I think is good and what I think is bad about this news. The good news is that EA is not planning to shut down Star Wars: The Old Republic. They could have shut down the game and made Bioware focus on Dragon Age and Mass Effect, just like they did with Anthem. But they decided not to do that and instead give it to another team. So in terms of the game still being playable and live to be played for a couple of years, seems very possible right now, because they're choosing to move it to another developer to keep the game alive. The negative side of this is that, like I stated, that only half of the developers that work on Star Wars: The Old Republic right now are going to be transferred to Broadsword. So that means that very likely the team that works on Old Republic will be even smaller than what it already was. And that's really concerning in terms of how much it's going to take to get new updates, how big the future updates will be. It doesn't look very bright in terms of getting bigger or good time spent on updates. That's to me personally, especially if you're looking for story updates. And that's the other big question I have myself, because story updates cost a lot of money budget, because there's 16 voice actors in English they have to do because of the class stories. There's 8 class stories, and then female and male have unique voice on each class. So that's 16 voice actors they have to go back and forth to get every time they make a story content. But with development being smaller, and perhaps budget being smaller without Bioware, will they have the budget to keep working on the big story content update in the same scale? And that's where my main worry comes, because I can see story, if they still do story, it could be more like KOTOR style, like when we get this mini stories on the planets, like in Runa, for example. There's this mini story with a sibling of Shea Vizsla, and they're voiced, but your character itself doesn't speak. You're instead in these black bars and choosing dialogues and whatnot. And that's my worry, that story moving forward might switch to that if they don't have the budget and scale like they used to. In terms of the game being alive or not with any content, I think we can still see galactic seasons and PvP season happen, because that's mostly just adding rewards to the already established gameplay. They don't really create that much new maps or content to play during those seasons. So I think those could still very much happen throughout the game. But the other reason a lot of people are concerned and are thinking, like myself, that content would be smaller, and some are even thinking there might not even be any more content in the future, is because Broadsword right now, the 2 games that they have are basically in what most gamers call maintenance mode, where the game is alive, it works, but it's not getting anything new on it. So you can play, check out stuff out, play Star Wars: The Old Republic, all the class stories, all the expansions that came out at the time, but don't expect anything else new to happen. And I can understand and see that happen, because as it is, the game already has a huge scale of content. So for a new player, there's so much to play right now. And I don't think it has a problem of not having content. It's just the fact that long-established players won't have anything new to look forward to in the future. But that's only speculation from my part and others as well, because we don't really know what this ultimately mean. Other people are being hopeful that because the new team is an MMO team, perhaps there's going to be a bigger focus on the MMO elements of the game. But that's again speculation. Ultimately, I don't think we will know too much of what's going to change moving forward with the game, at least until 7.4 comes out, because it seems that at least until 7.4 things are still being worked on with Bioware, and the Broadsword thing is not a transfer that's happening just yet. But again, my main concern with all this news is what will this mean to story content moving forward? Because I know a lot of people play for that story content, because the way Star Wars The Old Republic does story content is like none other game out there, where you have all these different classes that all have their own unique origin stories, their unique voice actors. You truly create these very original characters that make you feel like an immersive experience, instead of a silent protagonist that you get in most other RPG games that are in this MMO online aspect. But again, only time will tell, so let me know in the comments, what do you think about all this? If you're positive about this, are you negative about this? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, the next update 7.3 is coming this month, June. And you can check out on my YouTube right now all the things that are coming with that update.